Number 12. Grant Dixon protected from sharks. Grant Dixon, a 36-year-old Australian man, was fishing in northern Queensland along with many other people back in 2002. During his journey, the fishing boat was destroyed in the water, and the man found himself holding onto the remains of the boat, all alone in the middle of the ocean. His profusely bleeding wounds attracted several sharks. As he watched them grow closer, something exciting happened. A pod of dolphins began to circle him. It eventually scared away the sharks. After a while, Grant Dixon was safely rescued. Number 11. Lifeguard and woman saved from sharks. In 2004, a young woman from New Zealand along with a group of lifeguards were training at sea when a great white shark about 3 meters long suddenly emerged in front of them. Unfortunately for those sharks, a small pod of dolphins appeared and surrounded the group and the woman. They also proceeded to wave their tails and create a lot of noise, which discouraged the sharks from attacking them and swimming away. Number 10. Dolphins lead researchers to a girl in the water. Madalena Biarzi, a National Geographic researcher, reported that one time she was studying bottlenose dolphins along with her team. The team observed that suddenly one dolphin broke away from their feeding circle and started swimming in a different direction. The other dolphins also turned around and followed, and so did the surprised researchers. The dolphins eventually led them to a drowning girl in the middle of the ocean. The 18-year-old girl was rescued by researchers, and they found out that she had been suffering from hypothermia. Had the dolphins not led them to her, she would have died. Number 9. Dolphins save a swimmer from sharks. In April 2014, swimmer Adam Walker was on an 8-hour endurance swim between the two main islands of New Zealand when a shark suddenly started following him. He was then joined by a pod of dolphins who started circling him to protect him from the shark. The pod then continued to stay with him for about an hour. It ensured that he was safe before swimming away. Number 8. Dolphins lead divers to safety. As reported in The Telegraph in 2004, a group of divers was out diving in the Red Sea when they got lost. After about 13 hours alone, they feared they would die. It was then that dolphins emerged. The divers decided to follow them, which they later found out was a wise decision. The dolphins led them towards a rescue team. The rescue boat also reported that the dolphins were jumping across the prow of their boat, directing the rescuers' attention towards the lost divers. Number 7. Dolphins save Puerto Princesa fishermen. In 2008, a local fisherman, Ronnie Dabal in the Philippines, was out at sea when he got stuck in a storm, which eventually overturned his boat. As panic started to settle over him, a pod of around 30 dolphins and a pair of whales came out of nowhere and surrounded him from both sides. Ronnie was lying still on a piece of board as the dolphins pushed his small raft towards the shore. During his journey, Ronnie Dabal grew unconscious, and he says when he woke up, he was on the beach of Barangay Village. The people over there helped him recover, and he managed to reach home safely. The report also says that the fisherman was a dolphin spotter, and some say the dolphins might have actually known the fisherman. Number 6. Dolphins draw attention to unconscious diver. Back in 2006, Matthew Harvey went diving all alone in the waters of Fermain Bay, which is between England and France. It was an early Saturday morning, and his family expected him to return soon. However, when he didn't, they reported him missing. Everyone was worried, and an air and sea search started for this diver. 50 hours later, rescuers on a passing yacht observed an unconscious man surrounded by more than 150 dolphins. When the yacht crew went closer, they noticed that the dolphins had been surrounding the injured and unconscious Harvey. Thankfully, the researchers were able to save him before he died. Number 5. Dolphins save boaters in 2004 tsunami. Back in 2004, a scuba diving instructor, along with his crew, was diving in the sea near the coast of Thailand. They were having a great time when a tsunami hit them all. The divers and the group were alone and lost all sense of direction. The diver reported that when all hope was lost, they saw a pod of dolphins around them and they followed them. These dolphins eventually saved them and led them to safety. Number 4. Martin Richardson, protected from sharks. The swimmer Martin Richardson was swimming in the Red Sea near the shore of the Sinai Peninsula when he was suddenly attacked by a shark. His companions who were on a diving boat heard him scream, and he said that something bit him on the side. The 29-year-old diver later told the press that he started panicking as the shark took another bite out of his arm. It was at this point that his companions observed 3 bottlenose dolphins circling the wounded man. They started to flap their fins and tails, which scared off the shark. This behavior of dolphins is common by mothers when they are protecting their calves from predators. For several minutes, the dolphins continued to encircle Mr. Richardson until Mr. Richardson's companions reached him, and he was later rushed to a hospital where he made a full recovery. Number 3. 14-year-old boy rescued by local dolphin. Back in 2000, Filippo the dolphin saved a 14-year-old local boy. How? Well, basically Filippo was a resident dolphin in the waters of Manfredonia in southeast Italy ever since he became separated from a visiting school of dolphins. One day, a young boy named David Cecchi fell in the sea from his father's boat. His father was completely unaware of this fact, and he continued going about his work. He was about to drown when Filippo came to his rescue. The boy reported that when he realized that Filippo was pushing him up, he held on tightly to the dolphin. The dolphin raised the boy and carried him to the boat, close enough for David's father to reach down and grab his gasping son. Number 2. 4 swimmers saved from great white shark. A group of 4 swimmers, including British-born lifeguard Rob Howes, along with his daughter and 2 of her friends, had gone swimming near Ocean Beach in New Zealand. The group reported that a pod of dolphins suddenly appeared around them. The dolphins proceeded to encircle the swimmers by doing tight circles around them and herding them together. Not understanding their behavior, Rob tried to break away from the circle and move away, but he was herded back by the dolphins. It was then that the group realized that a 3-meter great white shark was heading towards them, and it was only 2 meters away. The dolphins had corralled around the swimmers to protect them, and they continued to circle them for 40 minutes until the shark lost interest, and the group could swim 100 meters back to shore. Number 1. Injured surfer protected from great white shark. A 24-year-old surfer, Todd Endress, was happily surfing on August 28, 2007 when something terrible happened. A great white shark attacked and gave him 2 severe bites, when suddenly 15 bottlenose dolphins emerged and surrounded him, creating a barrier between him and the shark. Todd was then able to get to shore safely and later recovered from his wounds. Which story was most intriguing to you? Let us know in the comments below.